Hi boys and girls. Today we're going to be creating our clay bees. Everyone's going to get a slab of clay, and so once you get your slab of clay, I want you to share the rolling pin at your table. There should be, if there is, I don't have these at both schools, but if there is these sticks, they're going to help you to not push, make your clay too thin. So put them on either side before you start the rolling pin. You're going to lay your bubble wrap on, and then you're just going to roll over that. You want to press it into your clay so that you get that nice honeycomb looking. Okay, and just hand that to the next person, hand the rolling pin to the next person, and the thickness sticks. Okay, then we're all going to create our own, little hexagon for our bee to sit on. And mine doesn't quite fit. Here, I might turn it this way so it fits a little bit better. If yours doesn't quite fit, that's okay. It just needs to be kind of a hexagon, okay? And I'm just going to take, these are just a paper clip that I've kind of opened up because they do really good for cutting. And I'm going to just cut right around. There we go. And these pieces are what you're going to use to make your bee. Yeah, don't press this down too much or you'll end up with like a big hexagon on there, and we don't want that. We just want our nice honeycomb feeling. Okay, so your bee, the first piece you're going to need is a whatever size you want for his abdomen. I'm going to make mine about this big. So make the oval for your abdomen, right? And then I might roll it a little bit flatter because I want it to be a little bit more long than round. And if you have any bumps or anything, you can take your thumb and just kind of smooth those out. Okay, there's my abdomen. Now I need to roll a little bit smaller piece. This looks almost the same. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. This is going to be my thorax. So I'm going to roll that. And you can roll it between your hands like this, or you can lay it on your mat or your board and you can roll it around like this. But what you want to end up with is a kind of a round piece. If you have to kind of push it in a little bit with your thumbs. Okay, there's that. And now the last part I need is the head. I'm going to make that. I want it to be a little bit smaller or almost the same size as my thorax. Okay, so remember the parts of the bee. We have the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. I'm going to pinch this in a little bit because I want that to come more to a point, just a little. Okay, I got head, thorax, abdomen, and now I want to give him 2 eyes, so I'm going to just pinch off a little bit, not very much, and I want them to be about the same, so I'm going to try to get the same amount of clay, and I'm going to roll those into 2 balls. Those are going to be his eyes. Now I'm not going to stick them on yet because remember, when we attach clay, we have to use something called slip and score. So we're going to score and slip. So before I do that, I'm going to make my little wings. Let's see. For the wings, we're going to need 4 of them, right? We're going to need 2 on each side, and I don't want them to end up too big. So I think I'm going to make a ball of clay that is about this big, okay? And I'm going to make 4 of those. So 1, 2, I'm just going to kind of pinch them with my hands, then roll them. So you want to get about 4 of them for the wings, right? Because we're going to flatten those out and attach them to his thorax, okay? Because all of the wings, if you remember looking at the diagram, the wings are not attached to his abdomen, they're not attached to his head, they're actually attached to the middle part of his body, okay? Now those I'm going to smush down with my thumb. I want them all to be flat. Okay, so I've got 2 wings for this side, 2 wings for this side. I'm going to actually move this over so it's kind of out of my way. Ooh, and if you have any rough edges, dip your finger in your little water dish and just kind of smooth those. We don't want any rough, scratchy edges, do we? Nope. Okay, now to assemble my bee. We want to attach everything with some wet slip. Okay, slip is just kind of water with, it might have a little clay in it. Sometimes it's just water on a rough, scratchy surface can give you this. So we're going to start by attaching our abdomen to our thorax. Okay, so scratch it up a little bit. I'm kind of tapping it on there to make it scratchy. You want to make it kind of like Velcro, and then put some on the part that you're going to stick to it, and then stick them together. I like to wiggle them a little bit till I feel them. Ooh, I can feel them really attach. Okay, so those two are really well stuck. Now I'm going to take this again. I'm going to kind of scratchy it up. And then I want to scratch this side. And then I'm going to put them together. This is a messy business. And I'm going to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle until it feels like it's good and stuck. Oh, that's good and stuck. All right, so now I've got his head, thorax, and abdomen. I want to get his eyes. So I'm going to put a little scratchy surface here and a scratchy there. And these are kind of little to put it on, so I'm just going to stick them on there and wiggle them until I feel them kind of attach. All right, that looks good. Now, for the wings. I had a little trouble getting the wings to really attach, so I want you to be sure. Let's put our wings together first. So kind of smooth out an edge where you're going to overlap them. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit on here and a little bit on the underside of this one, and then I'm going to kind of overlap them a little bit and wiggle them a little bit. Okay, now they're ready to stick to my bee. I want them stuck to the side of my bee, so I'm going to turn him to his side. I'm going to wet the tips of them a little bit, and then I'm going to stick them on. Now I got to make sure I'm on the side. Oops, I broke mine a little bit. I'm going to pinch them back together. This is the eye, so I want it attached right on this side by the eye, but not where the eye is. I want it attached to the thorax part. Ooh, that's good and solid there. Good. Same thing with this one. Scratchy, 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 scratchy. Then flip this over and put it right onto that one. Okay, and now I'm going to pinch them together just a little bit because I think I want them to come to more of a point when they attach, like that. Okay. Scratch, scratch, and attach. And you can smooth it a little bit if you want it to look like it's, I'm going to pick this up so you can see. I'm wiggling and jiggling it a little bit because I want it to be stuck. And then I want to, now you can kind of position your wings how you want them. I'm going to tip mine up a little bit. If you want to make his tail have a little bit of a stinger, you can make it more pointed just by pinching it. I can't hardly do it because my fingers are really wet because I want it to be more pinchy. Now, if you want him to have the mandibles or the antennas, those are the really breakable things. You can try putting those on after you attach him to your base. I'm going to decide where I want him. I think I want him right in the middle, but you could put him off to the side. Actually, I don't see very good honeycomb right here. I think I'm going to attach him right there because that'll cover up that lack of honeycombs. My honeycomb's showing better in other places. And I'm not going to put feet on him because he's standing on his feet, right? And so you wouldn't probably see them. So they're tucked underneath him. There we go. All right, my bee's ready. I might try putting some antennas, but I don't know. I don't know if these will work. If you do antennas, they need to be super skinny, right? Really thin, thin, thin. So when you roll it, make it really thin, right? And then just break off the amount that you need. And mine's pretty sticky, so I'm just going to try sticking it right in between. I don't know. Oh, I thought it was going to fall over. So this is optional. Do you have to have antennas? No, and probably shouldn't because I feel like they're just going to get in his eyes and they're going to be breakable and hard to not break off. But I guess if they break off, no loss, right? All right, there's my antennas. For what it's worth, I don't know if they'll stay. Now, if you have any bumpy things, you can smooth it out with your finger, make it look like you want it to look. I'm going to actually draw some stripes with this. I'm just going to draw a few stripes on his body because these have black and yellow stripes, don't they, on their abdomen. Okay, and then this part, the part of their body that's the thorax, is actually kind of fuzzy with hair, so I'm just going to put some dots on it to make it look like it's kind of fuzzy, like it's got little hairs there. And then his wings, if you want to, you can draw some lines on his wings. The wings have kind of like, almost like you're making almost like a leaf, it kind of reminds me of. There's a line that comes down the middle, and it kind of Y's off different directions. So if you want to put the lines on your wings, you could. Again, this is optional. You don't have to put them on there. And if you run out of time, you won't get to put them on there. So remember, you got to get this made in the amount of time that you have. Now, some people like to put a little dot in the middle of their eye. I'm going to actually do that. So let me tip it up here so you can see what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a dot in the middle of each of my eyes. Dot, dot. Now, do you have to do that? No. Oh, I might even give him a cute little smile. I am making a happy bee. Can you see my bee? He's very happy. Okay, when you're done, you're going to put it on the piece of paper that has your name on it, and Mrs. Walker will write your name on the bottom later when this is a little bit more dry. Okay, I'll flip it over and put your name on the bottom. Don't flip it over now. We don't want to knock our bees off, okay? All right, have fun. Be creative. I cannot wait to see your beautiful bees.